And for the ones who are here who are trying to learn, like, what are some things that you would like to impart to them as they are doing their own training here? What is the one thing that you will always impart to them?
Have fun. This business is a lot of fun. You see what the guys go in the back, how they are in the back, joking around playing. That, or I want to say more with the camaraderie of what the business does.
Right.
You know, the relationships you establish in the business. Not just that, but maybe the potential of growth, going out and becoming something for yourself. Be able to play a character, play a role that you're not accustomed to. It takes you out of your comfort zone. You become something that you're not, you know? So there's a lot of aspects that are there for the guys who are going to be, why they love doing this and why they want to keep doing this, because I tell the new beginners when they come in, I say, our training coming in, you're about to do the hardest thing you've ever done physically in your life. I also tell them that you're about to have the most fun you ever had in your life too. And sometimes I don't connect it because you can't connect fun and hard, but they finally later on are like, oh wow, now I see what you mean. Now it makes sense.
Yeah. All right, we are ending the PGTK podcast. We have a Hall of Famer. We have the head trainer of AAPW. We have Pap Don, Ray Campos, to end our season for the podcast. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. Finally.
Fine. So I have been told that you were in the business for 29 days. No.
I think that's how I made it on your show.
So how long have you been in the wrestling industry?
This September will be 29 years.
Okay, awesome. So like one thing I noticed too, what was the one moment that you say, hey, this is going to be my career moving forward?
It had to be the day that I saw the guy, the competition that was out there at the time in the 90s, that I said, I can do what these guys are doing and I can do it better.
Right.
And it was a challenge for me to push myself. And I did. And that was it. I said, this is it. This is a life for me.
I noticed too, because I was reading a lot of articles in terms of how wrestling builds confidence. How did confidence become such a factor in your wrestling career?
Because I was able to be somebody that I was not in real life.
Okay.
I was able to portray a character that I lived for so long. And, you know, if you ask me today, you know, you're talking to Ray Campos right now.
Right.
You know, back then it was Pap Don, which are two different people. And since all that time has gone by, I've kind of subdued Pap Don. Pap Don is like on the back shelf.
What is Pap Don in ring?
Pap Don in the ring, oh my goodness, Pap Don in the ring was careless. Didn't really care what was going on. If anyone saw my matches who knew me back then, I was probably doing hardcore matches back then as well.
Wow.
You see my office full of bloody pictures.
Yes, which is kind of interesting seeing, because I'm like seeing one of the pictures that you were bloody. I was like, wow, you did not pull any punches too.
No, I did not. And the guys who have seen me, who wrestlers out there who have known me all these years, know what I was capable of doing. And it was a side of me where I was able to vent out all my personal frustrations, my personal demons that I had in me, to get them out of me and just to be that person that I didn't want to be in real life. And I was able to do that in the ring. The wrestling, I always say, don't tell people, the wrestling career saved my life in that sense.
How did Pap Don change over the years?
Well, it's funny you ask that, because for the first 14 years of my career, Pap Don was a heel.
Oh.
And everywhere I went, I was booed.
Right.
It wasn't until I started working a lot in South Texas at the time. I was down there working, you know, Corpus Christi, South San Antonio, small towns in South Texas that I was doing. And one day I started noticing the fans started cheering for me.
Oh.
So the more I took out a fork out of my pocket and used it on your forehead, the more they cheered for me.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So it was probably the time that I realized, okay, these fans are now turning me. So anything I do that's going to be bad, they're going to cheer for me regardless.
It's kind of like a anti-heel, because like I'm seeing that with wrestling now, where they are heel and they wind up being cheered on because it's completely different.
Right. So at that time, it was something that I had to say, wow, what's going on here? This is different. I've never been cheered. I've never been, there was, I'll never forget the night I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma one night, and I was wrestling there, and there were stars there that night. And because of my character, the way I sold and the way I did things, interacted with the fans, at the end of the night, you believe I had more people in my line than other people's names?
Wow.
And that right there made me believers that realize and say, wait a minute, I got something here. I can go with this. And I did. And
As long as the crowd's working.
Right. And it was all about the last 4 years of my career that I turned myself face. And I kind of eased down on the heel stuff.
Because what I've noticed with faces, like, and I'm learning this as I'm watching here in the academy, is the heels are always bringing sympathy to the face, and the face is what the crowd is going to feed off to them, because it's like, wow, he's losing. I don't know if he's going to win or not, but I want to root for him regardless.
Right. So even if I put myself in an underdog position, which I normally did,
right,
as a face, I did. And I wanted to build their sympathy, and I wanted them to feel sorry for me. I wanted them to say, "Oh, poor Papa Don." There was a time also, the latter part of my career, where I was a tag team champion all by myself. I was a South Texas tag team champions by myself, just
right.
me. And I'd go to different cities to defend the tag team titles by myself. And every night before the matches were going on, and every night I'd have a different partner who'd come in and save me. And I did that. I did that for, I want to say, a good year and a half. I did that.
Okay.
But the fans, of course, because I was in the ring getting beat up and getting killed, they were cheering for me.
But that's actually a nice thing to have, because like when you were a heel for such a long time, that must have been a good change of pace.
It was different. It challenged me, but I feel that I stepped up to the plate and I did what I had to do. I think I did it really well, because I still get remembered when people see me from different cities or I go to different shows and they say, "Oh, I remember watching you." So yeah, I think I did okay.
And it's interesting. Like, we're going back to the first question. How has that confidence changed from being the heel to being the face? Has that changed, or it's a different color of confidence?
It's a different color of confidence, because now as a retired, I'm no longer, I don't try to get in the ring as much, but I want to say that it jumps over to your personal life.
Right.
And your personal life, you become that person that you realize is, hey, shit, if I've done this, why can't I do that? It builds your confidence, that then you start realizing, it's like, man, if I can do all this, and if I can do this, I can do this, then little problems out in the world today should not be no issue for me. Yeah, and of course it doesn't. It's no issue.
Yeah, because it's interesting now when at the twilight of your career you had an injury. Was that the moment when you're like, okay, what's going to be next for you?
It was scary, and the injury happened to me the date was December 13th, 2003. It was in a city called Cold Spring, Texas.
Wow.
Right outside of Nacogdoches, Texas. And that was a life changer for me, because I was able to get myself back home, and then able to get myself back home that night. I could not move my legs.
Oh, no. Okay.
That next morning.
I see.
So they had to call an ambulance to come get me out of my bed.
Wow.
And lower me 3 flights of stairs, because I couldn't move my lower half.
Right.
And it was because of the injury I took in my back. And I went to be told by doctors that I would never walk again.
Right.
And of course, in my mind, that day that he told me that, he didn't tell Ray Campos, he told Papa Don that.
Oh.
And I said, like hell, I am not going to get up off this bed.
Jeez.
And in a matter of 2 months, I was already standing up.
Right.
I was in a walker. I went from wheelchair, because I was in a wheelchair for a while.
Right.
I went from a wheelchair to walker, to crutches, to a cane, to standing back up again. And then that summer, I was still able to go back. No, excuse me. That fall, I was able to go and wrestle in Mexico. And I did 2 years down there.
And now that we're here in APW, where were you in that equation in the academy? Now that you have like the injury that you have and you recovered from it, where did AAPW kind of come into the picture?
AAPW was always going to be mine.
Okay.
Because my trainer and my mentor, he was like my father. He was a man who guided me, gave me tough love, showed me and says, Ray, you got to take responsibility for where you are, who you are and what you do and everything else. And it was a point that I knew that this was going to be given to me down the line, not given to me, but in a spot that I had to come take it because it was going to be mine.
Okay.
You see, and because he was my mentor for almost 10 years.
Okay.
And so it wasn't until late 17 that I came back and I bought the school from him.
Right.
And then it wasn't until early 18 that I moved it to the location we have it here. We're right here. I've been here since 18.
It's interesting because like now we're seeing a lot of talent here that's moved up. And I want to ask like how the Academy contributed to like these 4 wrestlers. And the first one comes to mind, of course, is Jordan Grace. She's the TNA Knockouts champion. How has the Academy contributed to her success?
Well, I think any names that you throw out, I'm going to tell you, it's a matter of what, and I mean, I don't, everyone knows who's came through here and what's done and what's been done here and whatnot.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this, the reason that sets us more special than any place else, and I'm saying that because I don't know other schools and how they teach or what they do, nor am I putting down no other schools, but I'm saying about us.
Yeah,
okay?
Of course, yeah.
That I push fundamentals and I teach basics.
Right.
And I grind them, and you see me do it.
Yes.
You see me grind it in, teach it to the point that these guys are probably sick of hearing it, sick of doing it, sick of seeing it. They want to do something different. And I think I push that so much that I'm so into teaching the basics, the fundamentals, the foundation of professional wrestling, that anyone that comes out of the school and goes and works somewhere, wrestles somewhere else, they're going to see that these guys that come from here know their footing, have their placement, they can feed, they can, they can work with anybody.
Right.
And it's because of the fundamentals that were taught to me. My trainer who taught me used to wrestle in the 60s and 70s.
That's very old school.
Okay. So I teach now that same philosophy. Whereas people today are being taught stuff that's from the 90s and 2000s. But my stuff that I was taught was, my trainer started wrestling in 1968.
Yeah.
And he retired in 84. So I learned from 60 to 84 and all the experience he taught me. I brought that to myself, and I was able to bring it into anyone that was coming in to AAPW and say, these are the fundamentals, these are the basics, this is what we're going to teach you on, this is what we're going to prepare you on, because when you go out there, I want you to be prepared. I think anyone that has gone from here since then will tell you that they're prepared.
It's just laying the groundwork, really, because when they do go out there, I did see a lot of like the guys here who moved on to do different things. I see the blueprint of how AAPW started, and they just made it their own, basically. But the fundamentals are there, because one thing I noticed, Inspire's a very big example. Like, you get to see Dimitri, we get to see Brick, we get to see Ladybird when she's on her appearance. Right. The foundation is pretty much there.
Right. And the foundation is what sets our guys apart from anybody else out there. And that my guys are going to be, and my girls are going to be confident when they go in the ring, and they'll be able to work with anybody. And I teach that here, that not only are you able to wrestle, but you're able to wrestle with anybody across Texas and the world. I don't care who it is. These guys can step in there. They can step in with a Japanese person, or from Japan, from all Japan, or whatever the case, or Noah, or whatever. And I feel confident enough that I've taught them enough basics and fundamentals that they can work with that person.
It's interesting.
And it's already been done. I've already seen it happen already.
Exactly. It's interesting too. Like, it's not only just the wrestlers, but we get to see the referees and the managers. How is that approach different than people who are training to be wrestlers here at AAPW?
It's not approach different. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay. Like what? So it's just the same.
I have them do the same thing that everyone else does.
Oh, okay. So it's just
I'm not gonna curve their teaching from anything, knowing that the principles and the foundation of what I'm producing from professional wrestling, I want them to pass it on, even if they're referees or if they're going to be a manager, if they want to be a whatever they're going to be. But they know the psychology and the philosophy of what we teach here. And they're going to be well-rounded in where they go.
It's interesting because I had this prior episode, I had Connor Chen. And one thing I've noticed, I did see two of the graduates who are in these gauntlet matches. What makes this such a very unique aspect to other wrestling academies, whether it's in Texas or anywhere else in the country?
We're very old school. You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
I'm very old school.
Right.
I'm the one who will tell you that I pull out old matches. You see my matches. You don't see those matches in Texas anywhere.
Yeah.
Do you? No. So I pull out that, and it might be outdated in someone else's mind, or it might be outdated in someone else's way of thinking about wrestling. But if I pull these matches back in, these guys are confident enough to say, wow, if I can do this, then someone else gives me a different match, I can do that. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
So it's just also a confidence builder for them all the way around. And they don't realize it, because they don't realize, even the graduates don't realize it. I'm still teaching them. And they don't realize I'm teaching them, and I'm teaching them in a different way.
Yeah.
I'm not teaching them, no longer teaching them the moveset, the basics. Now I'm teaching them philosophy and psychology of how to do things, and who to go in the ring with, and what you're going to do with that person. Now I'm training them at a different level.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that, but that's what I do.
And it's interesting, now we have the coaches here. We have Law and we have Warsaw. How has them being able to contribute to the foundations of AAPW?
Because they've been able to push the philosophy that I have.
Okay.
And they push it forward.
And it's just like they're just basically applying to what you already have.
That I've already said.
Ah, okay, interesting.
And not just that, but they're able to see the benefits and the fruit of what comes out of what I teach.
Ah, okay.
So they know it works. They've seen it work. So they're gonna do it, because they're like, I've already made them a believer. I'm like, I can give them stories of this and this and this, and they'll say, man, Pops, you were right. We saw, we went to a show somewhere in San Antonio, and we saw exactly what you're talking about. Or we went somewhere in Houston, and we saw exactly what you're talking about. And it's like, I'm not lying to you guys. I'm not lying to you guys.
And you always tell the truth too. It's like, it's never like through smoke and mirrors. It's what you have, and it's at face value.
But that right there is experience.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that is, experience. That's all that is, experience.
Yeah.
You can't tell me something that I haven't already seen in the business, or I've already done in the business. I've already seen it all, and I've done it all. I've seen it all. You can't tell me something that this is innovative, brand new. There's always some form of something coming out of this business, and I can tell you that it's same thing.
And one aspect that I want to bring up too are the shows now. It's open 3 times a month on Saturdays. Mm-hmm. How has each of the students who are in these matches, how have they applied what they've learned in the ring with these shows on Saturdays?
I guess you can see them when you're watching them, how they successfully progress in the matches,
mm-hmm.
and they get better and they get better and they get better. It's the point where they become my champions.
Right.
And I'm a hard man to please. You know that.
Yes.
Okay. But when I give a belt to somebody, it's because I think they've earned it. Not because I'm giving it to you because you got a pretty face on you. I'm giving it to you because I think you can go in that ring and you can work with anybody I bring over here, and you'll be able to wrestle with them and put on a good show.
Yeah, they cut their teeth within that time. Because that one thing I noticed that too. One of the matches I remembered was it was Ethan Hunter, and he's facing against Chaos. Chaos I've never seen, but after watching his matches, the way that you guys these guys work together has been very, very idiosyncratic. Yeah, it's in sync with every match. And Ethan kind of had, and I saw the foundations how you've done it, and what Chaos has with his side. So I kind of see that it's improving. He is the wrestling champion because you placed that position on him.
Right, I did. So which means now his bar has been set, and he has to always go in that ring. And every time he goes in the ring with somebody, he's got to set the bar even higher, because that's what I expect from him to do that.
And it's like expectations that are drawn.
Well, right, even from my champions, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, my champions, of course, because they represent our school. They represent the guys. They represent people that come from me. They represent their past graduates. They represent everybody. I mean, it just represents the history of the school.
Yeah, and it's interesting. One part of that is production, and you have like Greenback, you have Mac Monday, you have Eric Bador, who has his own time and experience in broadcasting. How did that amplify the experience on the shows on Saturdays?
Those guys have been a blessing to AAPW in the sense that they've brought in their own unique touch, and their own unique touch has given AAPW more flavor to the point where now people can say, oh, I'm entertained by the announcing and by the matches.
Right.
And of course, anyone that comes to see our shows and the indoor shows, the most common thing I get is, man, watching y'all show, it reminds me back of the Attitude Era. It reminds me back in the old days when wrestling was, that's because people would joke with me. My students make fun of me all the time. You know that.
Yeah.
Because they say, Pops, you're stuck in the old ways.
Yeah.
But that's what works.
Yeah, it ain't broke, don't fix it at that point.
Exactly. Don't fix it. It ain't broken. Don't fix it.
Yeah.
Why would I change things? Why would I make it every match be a hardcore, which I'm not knocking those, but why would I make that match? Why would I do every match be the same thing? People come to see different. People come to see something. They want to hear a storyline. They want to know, people don't realize that what professional wrestling is.
Yeah.
It's a soap opera.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a male soap opera. And if you keep making a male soap opera, then you keep leaving cliffhangers, they're going to come back for more.
Yeah, and that's what's happening with the storylines now. And it's kind of interesting how a lot of the stories are left hanging. And it's funny, like we're seeing the repeat audiences who are there every Saturday, or even like on Twitch where the viewership is through the roof. And like we're seeing how much of the work that production and what you guys are doing, that's something that I haven't seen any other wrestling promotion that has like an online presence on AAPW.
It has, and it's something we've built over the years. It took us a long time to build that. You got to understand, when we first started opening shows back in 2018, we had maybe 15, 20 people.
Right.
And look what we do now. When we have our spectacular shows, you see how packed it is in there.
Yeah.
And that's just the hard work over the years, the guys putting their work into it, putting their heart into it, and the fans now realizing what kind of talent comes out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's a product that sells itself.
Yeah, and we look to the future now, and it's already posted on social media. So it's spoilers for on Instagram, like to have someone like Gabby Tuft, who's making her own mark in her own indie scene and being there with AAPW. How has that been a huge benefit to you?
Oh, she's been a blessing to us. She's been a great help, but I think it's something that we benefit from having her, and she benefits from being here with us too.
Right.
Because even though she's established, she's a person who's already been there. Mm-hmm. She's been there, and for her to be humble enough to say, "Pops, what do you think?" Or "Pops, what do you see?" And for me to give her my input, and she's open to my instruction, and me to give her my knowledge, that's really shows a lot about her, that she's open to learn, open to get better. And I think it's just a matter of time that she's going to be picked up, and she'll be doing her own thing again with somewhere else. And the fact that she's been here with us, helping us out, it's a win-win for all of us, her and ourselves.
Yeah, and it's always the teachable ones that always move up in careers in wrestling. And for the ones who are here who are trying to learn, like what are some things that you would like to impart to them as they are doing their own training here? And you can hear there's simulation matches right now. Like, what is the one thing that you will always impart to them?
Have fun.
Okay.
This business is a lot of fun. You see the guys have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you announce for us, but I mean, you see what the guys go in the back, how they are in the back, joking around playing. That or I want to say more with the camaraderie of what the business does.
Right.
The relationships you establish in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Not just that, but maybe the potential of growth, going out and becoming something for yourself. Yeah. Be able to play a character, play a role that you're not accustomed to, and it takes you out of your comfort zone. You become something that you're not. So there's a lot of aspects that are there for the guys who are going to be, and why they love doing this and why they want to keep doing this, because I tell the new beginners when they come in, I say, our training coming in, you're about to do the hardest thing you've ever done physically in your life.
Mm. I mean, I tried it. That was
okay.
Just the conditioning part.
Right.
I'm already dead.
But
so
I also tell them that you're about to have the most fun you ever had in your life too.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't connect it because you can't connect fun and hard, but they finally later on, they're like, "Oh wow, now I see what you mean. Now it makes sense."
Yeah.
And so that's what.
And we're close to wrapping up. Yeah. And one thing, because Lou brought it up on their episode, they recorded here last time, which is kind of very, very ironic. I'm doing it here on another episode. Pégale. How is that such an important foundation to a lot of the wrestlers here?
Wow, those guys are going to hear that. They even hear it in my dreams. I think they're in their dreams or their nightmares, whatever you want to hear it. I guess it's a matter of when I did Pégale Ways, because of the fact that, they were learning, they were coming in, and, I wanted them to make contact with their impact, with their hits and stuff.
Right.
And of course, I didn't want to come out and just yell and say, "Hit them." At that time, our crowd was more English-speaking crowd. And so I started yelling out Pégale Way, which means hit them.
Yeah.
In a derogatory word way, and so,
we'll redact that.
Yeah. But, and that's where Pégale Way came from, was for me to yell it out across the ring and say, Pégale Way means hit him, hit that motherfucker, hit him.
Yeah.
You can't go in there just slightly, just slap them, hit them. They want to see a hit them, and I think that's something where that has come from. And now the guys realize it when they tell me all the time, they go to different shows in different cities when there's not even our show, and they're watching other guys wrestle, like they're in their head saying, Pégale Way. You know, it's like, you know, I didn't think that was going to be a big, a big influence, but it has been because they realized even when they tell me, say, Pops, I was wrestling in Dallas and for some reason I kept having you hearing you in my head saying, Pégale way. And I'm like, did you? He was, yeah. I said, then you did exactly what what you're supposed to do.
I'm ring announcing. I wind up hearing it. I'm like, all right, I have to like get my lines Pégale way. Like, all right, let's get it over.
Yeah.
It's an instinct where it's like, it shows up because like oftentimes, yeah, when you mention hit hard, it won't have an effect if it's just like, it's literally just the swing of things. Cause like there's an audience there's an audience that are viewing each match. If they don't see the 100%, if they see 70%, it probably might not have the same impact.
Right, exactly. So I want them to realize that, that's my way of saying, hey, pick it up to the next level, pick it up,
right.
And, Pégale way. And they realize, they know exactly what that means when I say Pégale way. So.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to end our conversation, but I want to end this conversation, but thank you so much for, it's been how long? How many months?
I don't know. I think the guys have made fun of you. How long now?
It's like 3 months.
Okay, yeah.
It's 3 months. And it's like schedule after schedule and getting that done. But I honestly thank you because like honestly, like APW has been such a unique wrestling experience because I had traveled a lot in Texas doing a lot of stuff on the podcast, but APW has had its roots in Austin because like, I mean, this is the only Austin school, and I'm saying it out of frankness. Like I've never seen another wrestling school like it, and I've watched other schools like that I've seen with their showcases, and it's like there's never been anything like that in all of Texas right now. I mean, I don't think anyone can top it because now I'm seeing all of the students who are like right now with the simulation matches. You can tell they're improving. It's the 1% until they get to that 99.9% where they're at, and seeing the school and a lot of stars. And I kind of skipped the question, but like seeing the stars who are there. Yeah, Jordan Grace is one. I mean, Ricky Starks is one.
All they'll all come through these doors.
Yeah, so like seeing where the pedigree is when they leave the doors out of APW, it's like there's nothing like it. So I wanted to say thank you for that.
No, well, thank you for finally talking to me after all this time. I guess maybe you did listen when I said I've only been in the business 29 days. So yeah, you did. Yeah, maybe me so. That's what it is. So, but yeah, no, it's a blast. It's a fun. It's part of my life. It's become my life. And I told the guys all the time, you'll probably end up burying me in that ring. So that's probably where I'll die. Yeah, I'll probably be there in that ring, and that's probably I'll be teaching. And one of the things that Pap Don or Ray Campos has learned to do is I produce stars. I make champions. Yeah, that's what I do, and that's what I've always done. I will continue to do that because I want to see the legacy of what we know and what was taught from us from that old time professional wrestling to today. That I can say it's still alive. It's not. I sometimes mess around with the guys. I joke with other people and realize and say my style of professional wrestling is dying out. It really is. And for me to say that I'm pushing the philosophy and what we're doing here, that it's still alive, and I'm fighting to keep it alive, because my guys can still go out there and they can wrestle with the best of them.
Exactly.
And they can kick ass, and they can entertain, and they can do it all. And I'm confident. And when I go watch a show somewhere and I'm watching them, I'm sitting in the audience like a fan.
Right.
Because they know I'm the number one fan. I'm all these guys' number one fan.
Exactly.
I'm cheering for even my girls, even when I go watch Verd or I see Jasmine Lore or I see Lady Bird, I go sit in the crowd and I'm watching them and I'm rooting them on like they were, I was a fan, because in my heart, I'm still a fan. Even though I was their coach, I'm still their fan.
Exactly. So we're going to close our conversation. I'm going to end this conversation with this. So I'll make it short because I know you have your matches going on, but if you were in the same room as a young Ray Campos, in an adolescent age, what would you like to talk to him about?
Oh, now you made it personal, dude. Shit. Okay.
You started off as a fan, right?
Yeah, I know you gonna turn that on me. Okay. Don't be afraid to take the challenges head on, because they're only going to make you stronger.
Right.
And they did to me. I learned that the hard way in my older age. I learned it.
Yeah.
If I would have learned this when I was younger, my life would have been different, obviously, but obviously it didn't. So I would say that. Don't be afraid. Do it.
Yeah.
And I always push the thing about what's Nike's number one phrase.
Just do it.
That's always been mine since that time. Has been just do it. People are like, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. Why? I don't know. I just can't. Well, Nike says just do it. Then why can't you just do it? I did it. Just do it.
Yeah. All right.
You'll see the results and you see the fruit of it. And that's what happens.
Awesome. So I have nothing left to give. You have the floor. You can look at the camera. Like, where can we find you if there's any upcoming shows?
Let's see. Official AAPW on social media, of course, Instagram and Facebook. We have the 17th of August. We'll be here at our arena. Doing the shows here. Catch our shows on Roku and on Twitch, of course. And then we have a show going to be on August 25th at Casa Chapala Fiesta and Bastrop. And we're doing a show there. We're going to be going to Bastrop, and we got some dates coming up. We're going to be going to Dripping Springs, Round Rock, as well as our shows here. And AAPW is starting to pick up. It's going to get busy.
Oh, it's a busy summer.
And we're even busy now, so we're going to get busier. So, just stay tuned. Watch our social media flyers and see where we are. Come see us, because I promise you will be entertained and you'll be hooked on wrestling.
There you go. I've been here for 3 months. I'm already hooked as it is. We're getting out. That's how it works.
There you go.
Yeah, but we'll end our season for the PGTK podcast. We'll have announcements when the episode comes out in a few weeks. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Be awesome with each other, and I'll see you guys in the next season of the PGTK podcast. Bye, guys.